Hey everybody, in this second video we're going to be looking at 2D, which is where you need to identify an abstraction. I'd like to remind you again, you should go back to your practice create. You should find where you did the work for 2C and 2D in a document that looks like this. And you should have a lot of comments within that document so that you can look at your old 2D work. Note that you're working toward these two rubric components, which you're also going to see in the examples that we're going to look at. So when we're looking at mobile CSP, again, this is the unit that we haven't gotten to this unit, but you've been working on mobile CSP throughout, and we're looking at 8.9, and we're going to look at the same examples that we looked at with the other video, except we're only going to be focusing on these last two rows, meaning for 2D you get 2 points, and we're going to be talking about abstractions. So for abstractions, you know that an abstraction could be a procedural abstraction, in which case the student would need to include both the procedural abstraction as well as the explanation. And here you can see that in sample H, they did not get the point. Here, the issue is that the student only used the variable as their abstraction. So let's go look at one where they got the point. So in this example, you see the classic procedure. This person has written a procedure that has 4 parameters. That's fine, but not necessary. You can do that. You just do not have to do it. And this is what they have to do. So the selected code needs to be an abstraction, period. Within the greater code, which you don't have to worry about at this point, you're going to put a rectangle around it. And in the template, which is, open that one quickly, here, you need to include the screenshot, and then you would put the response after. You don't have the template yet. Then for the other point, because you get 2 possible points, this student also got that point, and the reason that they got the point is because they were able to explain how that abstraction manages the complexity. As you read through this, you want to look out for keywords like how, for example, the abstraction makes the code easier to work with, how it would be quicker and easier. Here's a great statement. Creating this abstraction makes the general coding clearer, easier to read, since it's already been being used once. In other words, you're using something repeatedly, or theoretically could use it repeatedly, and that's why the abstraction is beneficial. You're more than welcome to look at these other examples and use those to help guide your work. And don't forget, there are also the examples on the AP College Board site. I'm just going to type in AP College Board, AP CSP examples. There's lots of different links to these. You probably remember this one from class because we scrolled all the way down to look at all these explore examples, which were really good. But it's also helpful to look at some create examples, keeping in mind that not all of the students are using App Inventor. So here you can just sort of scan through this and get a pretty good idea of what this one looks like in full. So enjoy your time coding, and just keep in mind that as you reach different points in this process, you will need to have an algorithm that has 2 sub-algorithms, and you will also need to have an abstraction. Each student will need to have one.